Well, the Lakes Area Music Festival aims to bring some of the world's best classical musicians to the Brainerd Lakes area. This year's iteration of the festival is entitled Myths and Magic and will bring fairy tales like Hansel and Gretel and epic sagas like The Lord of the Rings to life through music. For this week's In Focus, reporter Daniel Purcell caught the latest performance entitled The Nightingale.
The Lakes Area Music Festival continued their summer season on Wednesday with a collection of music that mimics the beautiful sounds of a bird's call. The highlight of the night was The Nightingale, a piece adapted from a short story by Hans Christian Andersen.
The piece is a lot of fun. There's a narrator and kind of telling that musical story of the nightingale. I think the composer does a great way of also telling that story with using the other three musical instruments.
The piece features a quartet comprised of a pianist, a violinist, a clarinet player, and a narrator. Although there are no actors on the stage outside of the narrator, the musicians personify the characters in the story through their instruments.
There is so much dialogue in what we do. That's one of the joys of playing chamber music. It's a more kind of intimate setting. Of course, there's dialogue in big symphonic orchestras, but it's more difficult when it's like 80-some people, and usually you have a conductor kind of helping guide you. But in a chamber setting like this, like tonight's, there is no conductor. You're each other's conductor. You're helping guide one another. So there's something very intimate and beautiful about that.
The Lakes Area Music Festival has brought the sounds of classical music to the Brainerd Lakes area for over 15 years. Soloist Grace Park thinks that festivals like this can help change the stigma that may surround classical music.
I suppose there is a stigma of classical music perhaps being stiff or kind of straitjacketed in its tradition, but this tradition has lasted for centuries, and it's some of the most beautiful, expressive way of showing who you are. So all this music came from very human people. We regard them as geniuses like Bach, Mozart, Beethoven, but we also forget that they were just as human as we are.
The festival will continue to provide the Brainerd Lakes community with the opportunity to see world-class performances right in their backyard until August 17th.
It is incredibly rare and special for a community of this size to have a music festival of this stature. We're really one of the fastest growing classical music festivals in the nation. So really for a month, Brainerd becomes this musical hub for some of the best classical musicians in the country.
Reporting in Brainerd with this week's In Focus, I'm Daniel Purcell, Lakeland News.